guys, salam. This is actually slightly unbelievable for me. I'll tell you why. This is my second vlog. Like, I'm actually back into vlogging. It's a wonderful feeling. Coffee. You know what? Drinking black coffee is still not a norm. And I very recently actually learned that. I was visiting a relative of mine, and obviously he offered me something to eat. I said, coffee. And he said, why don't you eat some chocolate? I said, you know what? I'm starting a cut, so, I'm watching out calories and whatnot. I'll maybe just have black coffee. And he said, really? Black coffee? I mean, that's going to be really bitter, right? Like, how do you drink it? A lot of people actually don't enjoy black coffee as much as I do. And I'll tell you why this actually happens, because we culturally don't do a lot of black coffee in India. Now, I had the opportunity to live in different places through my life due to education and necessity. That's where I picked up black teas and black coffees. It's a win-win, right? You get your caffeine hit and you don't overdo your calories. I'm all in for that. I use the amount of coffee powder I would use if I had a glass that big, but then I dilute it all the way up there. Just more hydration. So we're heading to the bank today morning. If there's one thing that I'll have to tell you that you should never forget when going to a bank, you could forget your Aadhaar card copies, PAN card copies. You could always come back and collect them. You will kind of feel bad, but you won't be really humiliated. But if you forget one of these, my friend, firstly, you're going to need a pen to fill out all the forms. I mean, most cases here, yes, we live in a digital India, but we still use paper for a lot of things. Number two, asking fellow people who have come to the bank to either deposit or withdraw money is slightly humiliating. Number three, if you ask the person sitting behind the counter, the bank employee, you will for a fact, I mean, I've grown up being stupid like all of us are in our teens, and then we go to banks, we open junior accounts and whatnot, and we forget a pen, and the way they ask you, really? Don't have a pen? $10, bro. Fun fact, breakfast is actually ready, but we're running low on time, so... Bank work sorted right now. Chilling at Sulaiman Masjid because it's time for Salatul Zuhr, which is the afternoon prayers. And yeah, that's about it. I do have a rant though. Okay, so I've been maintaining my account in a certain bank for a very, very long time. Like since the day I started coaching, I've kind of worked with these guys. And how do I put this so softly? Let's say they treat people who bring in a lot of money a certain way, people who don't bring in a lot of money a certain way, and the middle ground a certain way. It feels very racist, except it's economical racism, basically. Classist, maybe. Regardless, that's something I absolutely hate when banks do. But you might say, yes, all banks do that. But there are levels to that. Some banks do it a lot. Some banks probably not so much. So I've shifted to some bank that probably doesn't do it maybe a lot. I know it's not really a rant, but this is terrible, right? People got to fix that. Like, if you want to change how we as humans treat each other, then we also got to look at how these corporate money, unless they stop doing it, this society is going to be classist. There's actually another 15 minutes for the prayer to start, so just sitting in my car. Every shot, man. I don't know, it forms some sort of a wave in my head and just makes me look weird. And no, I'm not using a product, no. Because that is a lifestyle. You'll have to constantly use a product every time once you start using it. No. Home, sweet home. Finally. All right, meal number one, and then we go train. Always have a timer with you. Whether you have a time constraint or you don't have a time constraint, it doesn't matter. Because you might be under-resting or over-resting, both of which can be counterproductive. If you have a certain goal in mind and you are manipulating all the other stuff, don't let this down the drain. That is a wrap for the day. It's always a beautiful feeling. Training, check. Meal number one, check. What else? Wait, that's all. Bank work, check. That was a bit of a headache, at least in my mind I imagined it would be. Turns out it was very simple actually. I do have some mails though. I'm debating if I should get to them tonight or probably tomorrow morning. I mean, when you're working for your own self, the thing is, you think that you can work whenever you want to, and that is a good thing. But it really isn't, because when you're in your early 20s or when you don't have a lot of responsibilities, that might sound wonderful. But if you have a certain set routine and you have a lot of duties you owe to the people around you, the community, the family and whatnot, then you want to have a set schedule and you want to stick to that dutifully. What I'm saying is working for yourself is amazing in terms of flexibility if you understand how to schedule yourself. So you have the right balance in between what is flexible and enjoyable, at the same time what is not flexible, and you can still make it enjoyable because you manage your time properly. Lovely. Meal number 2. Post-workout. Look at my phone. Going with good old chicken breast, because that is a standard in my diet. It's also a standard in a lot of my clients' diets because it's extremely cheap compared to other sources of protein and easily available in India. And I'm doing some egg whites, some rice, and some sambar, and micros. You might be wondering if I'm not eating micros. I did have some vegetables in the afternoon. I didn't show it on camera though. And I think we do have some millets made into a pongal. Might dig into that as well. See, eyeballing is a beautiful trick, but to get that, you have to start with measuring out your food day in, day out. And eventually you can get to a point where you don't need a scale all through the day, but sometimes when you're on a prep, it's good to use one. And that is a wrap for today's vlog. Next one.